Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. This is Professor Sistrunk, and I'm reaching out to all my CyberOps students. Okay, then. Now we have completed a week of assignments, and we feel really great about ourselves. I want to say to all of you who completed your assignments in a timely manner and on time, kudos to you. You are doing magnificent. You know how this game is played, and you in here playing it like a champ. You are knocking this work out. For those of you who are still having a couple of little problems, just reach out to me. I'll help you. It's no problem. So today's session is about Netlabs and how we use Netlabs. I had a couple of students this week reach out to me about Netlabs, and I want to talk a little bit about that today. But after today, the only application that I'll be introducing you to, and that'll be later on down the line, and that will be Packet Tracer. But you're going to see me roll out back to back to back, lab after lab. Every other day, I'm going to do a lab. And you can just simply look at that lab, follow that lab. But I'm going to be doing it to the point where I'm going to go all the way through the sessions. Okay? You just take a look at the lab, watch my video log, and do your discussions. Most importantly, your discussions. Do not miss these discussions, because you can't go wrong. You can't lose with your discussions. You simply go in there and you give me your opinion about things that I post. If I say I want to know something about this and what you think, you just give me your opinion, and then you respond to another student's opinion or student's opinion about the post. So you can't, that's easy money. You can't lose that. For the people who just taking a look at my YouTube, just have fun learning CyberOps and learning how CyberOps is played out and what you need to know. I'm gonna go in full discussions about CyberOps and the CyberOps community and stuff like that. So now I'm introducing you to another tool. But before I start with this piece of introducing you to Netlabs, I also want to talk to you about one of the most important things. So I previously had you download an entire virtual lab on your computer. The reason I do that is because I want you to be as independent as possible. To learn how to play in this IT game, you have to have all the tools that are critically essential to your survival in this game. You cannot be willy-nilly and hop-knob putting pieces together. You got to have your tools and be able to work your tools and master your tools to the point where you have full knowledge of these tools. So that lab environment that you created gives you the ability to be one up on anybody who's working in the industry. You can go in there and create scenarios for yourself or replay out the scenarios that I have given you in the form of labs. So when you hear me say scenarios, I'm joining them with the word labs. Now, with that being said, a student asked me, he said, Professor, can I just do all of my labs in the lab environment? And I said to the student, no, I got to think about that. Let me think about it. And when I say let me think about it, I want to consult with other people and get better information that can help me and you. So this is the thing. You can do all of your work in this class on your PC, but here's the requirements that I need from you. One, every one of these labs come with a documented lab, meaning something you read to do the lab, which you know that. You have to answer the questions on each one of these labs, and that's my expectation, that in order for you to get grades or in order for you to know the lab and do the lab, you should be able to answer the questions. But third, if you're going to use your computer, you have to let me know, I'm going to use my lab environment, Professor. And the fourth thing is, you have to give me a screenshot of each one of them labs each one of them questions that you do. So if a lab say do this, you give me a screenshot. It don't matter how many screenshots you put in there. I just want to see detail by detail that you are actually doing the work. And for those of you who take on this challenge and do it on your computer, you will become a better CyberOps technician, specialist, because you're using your own device instead of some simulated device. You're using your own device to do the work. So that means you're going to work through all type of problems and issues to get it done. I don't know what type of computer you have, okay? But I can tell you this. You need to make sure that you can, work well with the device that you have. So that's the commitment I'm asking for you. Tell me, do you want to work on your own computer? And it's discussion question, because this will be your discussion question. Yes, I do, Professor, want to use my own computer. Simple as that. 2, give me a layout of your system, not your entire system, just the system name and stuff like that. So that's pertinent and important for me to know that that's you. And 3, screenshot every activity you do. When you answer that question, screenshot it. So when you upload it, I can look at each one of these screenshots and see that they are adjacent with what you are doing on your computer. And I'm gonna know if you got the screenshot from somewhere else, because I'm gonna simply call you up and say, this don't make sense. Can you turn on your computer and let me take a look at it via Zoom, and then give me control and let me click on a few things to make sure. So I'm not worried about that. We have ways to figure that out. So there it is, people. If you want to use your computer, and those of you who are excited about having a lab right in your environment on your computer, go right ahead. For those of you who want to use Netlabs, go ahead and use Netlabs, okay? And whatever issues we may face with Netlabs, know this. I'm Professor Cisco. I can fix it or deal with it, okay? Now, with that said, that's going to be the discussion question for today. So I'm going to post this, and then you just answer the questions, and that's your discussion questions for the week. Now, let's move forward. Let's learn a little bit about Netlabs. So as you can see, the website is critically important. Okay, netlabsve.oakton.edu. That's the first thing. And I sent you a username and password, and all of you have logged in here. But I'm going in under my name, so we're not going to see any of you in here, okay? You're going to see what I see for my own self. I'm not going in as the administrator. I'm going in as myself. And as you can see now, all you have to be concerned with is new lab reservation. You have to set up a reservation. What is a reservation? You want to do some work. So you click on here, and then you schedule something for yourself. Okay. As you can see, I have multiple things in here. So I'm going to go ahead and choose the one that I'm in. And this is the one that I'm choosing right here, which you should be choosing. And here are all the labs. Now, all you have to do is choose a lab. Now, a student emailed me. He said, hey, Professor, I had a problem with identifying running processes. I said, oh, you did. So let's go in there and take a look at your identify running processes. But because I was working with other students, I couldn't quite get back to that student. So that's why that's why I'm actually doing this now, because I want to walk through some things in here. So once you click on here, you are actually now finna schedule or reserve some time. Now, as you can see, I don't see no names in here. I don't know who reserved what time. I just see reservation 794. I don't know who that is. Now, as the professor, I do know who that is because I got an administrative port and I can actually see the student doing the work in there. But if I come right here, if you want to start a lab immediate, and this is what I was walking the student through, if you want to start one immediately, you just go right up here. If you want to schedule some time, you can click anywhere else to schedule it. So if I click right there, I can actually schedule this time for that particular time period, okay? And you see the time there. Of course, it's in the 24-hour clock instead of the 12-hour. But I'm going to go back because I don't want to schedule that time. I want to do one immediately to show you what's on. So I'm going to come right here, right up under that red line, and I'm going to click it. As you see, I have 2 pods here. So with these 2 pods here, I'm going to say that when you scheduling your labs, if you wait until Saturday and Sunday to do your work, you're going to hurt yourself, okay? Because some people going to schedule it and eat up all the time, and you ain't going to be able to get in there. So the earlier you can start charming out them labs, the better off you can be. Because I only got 2 pods set up for this class, and that's that's enough, trust me. Because if you do your work in a timely manner, you shouldn't be worried about whether you got or have a pod to do your work on. So I'm gonna go right here and click right up under here. That's gonna allow me to take it, but I can give myself more time. Each one of these labs, I'm giving you 4 hours to do the lab. Do you need 4 hours? No. No, you don't need 4 hours, but I give you 4 hours just in case you have some problems. Okay, hopefully you can be, but anyway, I'm gonna just choose 15:30. Okay, and then I'm gonna submit. Okay, as you can see, once I changed it, it changed the time at the bottom. You see right here. Now I just scheduled 4 hours for a lab. I don't need it 4 hours. So I'm gonna go back and just say, I put 5 hours on that. I'm getting way lost now, right? But anyway, I'll leave it right there because I'm gonna cancel out the lab anyway. So I'm gonna hit submit. And it says too long. See, I put 5 hours and it said, oh, that's too long. You can't do it. So it gave me 40 minutes. That's all I need. So I'm gonna submit for 40 minutes. So it's gonna tell you can't do it past that time. Okay. And even if I said 4 hours, people, it shouldn't take you no more. For the most extreme lab, it shouldn't take you no more than an hour to do. So don't call me up and say, well, Professor, I didn't get my full 4 hours. Okay. Boo-hoo you. Really. Anyway, moving forward. So now you can go ahead. Yes, I tell jokes. You can go ahead and click on the lab. So I'm going to click on it. Now, here's your setup. Everything you need. You have the entire system here. Now, you have more than what you have on your computer. And if you stick through this class and work through it, I'm going to make sure you have all the rest of these tools that you don't have on your computer. As of now, all you have on your computer is the CyberOps workstation and security onion. But I'm going to make sure you have these so you can have a full-fledged lab environment where you can do all of your work. We don't need, in this class, we don't need too much of all this to do. We just gonna work mainly out of CyberOps workstation and Cyber Onion. But I'm gonna make sure you get all of this. You already put a client computer in there yourself, but I'm gonna make sure you get the rest of this so you can have a full-fledged environment to work out of. Okay? But you have to complete the class. Now, if you don't complete the class, I don't know you. Okay? But let's go ahead. So this is the topology. You're looking at your topology. When you click on your content, you're going to see that the file that's inside of Netlab, the Cisco application, may be a little different than the file that's in here. That's why I suggest when you're using this in here, make sure you use this document. When you're in Cisco Netlab, doing it on your own personal computer, use the document that's in Cisco Netlab. But don't worry, you'll figure that out because you'll know if I'm in here, I should be using this document. And that's to say they really not any difference. There's no difference between them, but they may have tweaked a few things and you can work with it. So this is the document. Now, you should download this document to your desktop and pretty much answer every question in here. And you're going to answer the questions as you do the work. You're going to put your statements on these lines. I need this document uploaded so I can see it. And I also need to be able to come in here and see the work you do. Always check your status. As you can see, my status says everything is on. I walked the student through this week. He wanted to do some work in here and he went in there and did the work, but his status wasn't complete. So you want to see everything powered on to let you know that you're doing the right thing in your status. And the student told me he went and looked at my video and he saw that, that's what it was saying. So now with that being said, I'm simply going to come over here and go back to the topology. Now from the topology, I can go into any one of these devices. Okay. From the topology, it will allow me to go into any device. All I got to do is click on topology. But you also can just go up here to the top and click on the device and be in there too. So you got many ways you can get in there. Just make sure that you know that. Okay, you can use the topology or you can use that device. Now, let's just do a little brief stuff on here. So this says identifying processes. It says in this lab, you will use TCP UDP endpoint viewer, a tool in system suite to identify any running processes on your computer. Don't laugh, the professor got the word wrong. Move on. I love this game, baby. In the lab, you will explore processes. Processes are programs or applications in execution. So what this lab is really saying, I'm not going to go through the reading of all that. What it's really saying is to show you how to go in here and look at processes that's working on a system. Working, running, happening in the back of the system. You want to see what's going on with systems. Why? This is why. Sometimes the system gets a virus, and a virus uses up a lot of the system processing material. That's what viruses do. It may be replicating itself, it may be doing all type of work. If you notice, if you ever catch a virus on your phone, and here's my phone, your phone will all of a sudden be draining real quick, and the phone will have a little heat to it. You'll be on the phone talking to somebody and you'll be like, man, my phone getting a little warm. That's how you know you got a virus, because the process is consistently working. And I have suggestions for what you can do to correct that without having to get expensive applications to find out if you got a virus on your phone. But we'll talk about that another time. Or if you deem it something that's important for you to know, we'll talk about it. But that's what viruses and malice application do on your phone, your laptop, or whatever. It consistently drain all of the resources. And that's what you want to prevent for. And this teaches you how to go in there and find those resources. It says here, access the Windows client machine. So if I come to the Windows client machine, which is right here, and click on it, right? You saw me click on it. And it says here, unlock it by going control, put your administrative password, your CyberOps. So I'm just going to do a little, and I'm not going to get too deep into it. Now, the thing to be able to unlock it is this. This is what gets a lot of people caught up, because they go control alt on their computer when you can go right here and you'll see control alt here, control alt delete here. You click that, then it unlocks the computer. Now you're already in administrative status and you just got to type in CyberOps. If I'm correct, and let me make sure it doesn't have a capital letter in, because that's what I always mess up. I might see if I can copy and paste it. Let's see if I can. But it may not work here, so just know, don't buy into that. It may not work. Let me see if I can do it. Nope, it don't work. Let me see if I can do it here. No, it don't work. So you just have to go Bear with me, people. I'm typing. Okay, so I'm in now. And as you can see, it let me in. Okay, now I'm going to bounce back over here and see what the next question asks you. So you did this, okay? Now it says navigate to the toolbar folder located in the desktop and double click that system app. Okay, so I'm gonna navigate to the toolbar folder located on the desktop, and it's looking for me to double click on this. And because my computer has some mumble jumble here, I can't see everything. It wants me to log into system apps, and there it is there. So don't pay attention to my computer. I just been out of the States for a while, and my computer may be acting goofy too. But I don't have a virus. Don't worry about that. Okay. And plus, this is small screen. So now that I went there and did that, it wants me now to look for this here. I'm in here. It wants me to look for this here. If you notice, I'm not reading through the document because I pretty much know what it wants me to do. But it wants me to go to quick start and look here. So I'm gonna come over here and see if I can find it real quick. I'm in quick access, and I'm looking for TCP IP. Now you're gonna notice that you have several of them on here, so you got to be specific. And sometimes I tell students, like the student who was talking to me, he probably went in here But I tell students, when you come to the top, click on viewer and put the extensions on there. Viewer will allow you to change it. You're looking for the executable one, so you may want to put the extensions on there so you can see it, or just do details and make sure you can see the extensions at the end of it. That's a big problem when you're working in the IT world. People don't know that when you're running these processes, you may have several other same thing, like this one here compared to this one here. But if you put your extensions on, and I know you guys probably can't see this because it's so small, because it's small on my computer, but when you put your extensions on, the extension is that .exe file, exe extension, or like if you got a Word doc, it may say .wp or something like that. That's an extension. So to make sure you're getting the right one, just put your extensions on and you should have it. So if you notice it looked it like, let me go back here. It looked it like this, but it's one up here and it's one right there. Just make sure you put that extension on so you can make sure you got the right one. But I'm going to go for Gusto and I'm going to choose that one there. And I'm going to agree to it. And there you go. So my extensions work. So maybe that was the problem with that student. I don't know. I'm going to call the student again today and we're going to walk through it. Now, once you got the extensions on and you went through, you see these processes here. These are the processes that are running on your computer in the background. It's a lot of things that's going on. Now, I'm not going to walk through all the logistics of what you have to do here. I'm going to keep this as short as possible, but this is the logistics of how to go through and do this particular lab. Once again, this is Professor Cisco, and I'm going to end this video right now, and we will see you in the next one.